Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yvette Gales from the Department of Permitting Inspections and Enforcement. Thank you this afternoon for taking the time to attend today's overview of utility and permits and momentum. So today we'll show you how to navigate momentum, the new process, so that you're able to use the system. If you have any issues or questions, needing any assistance when we're live in Momentum next week, on the 30th, don't worry about it. This overview is not meant to be exhaustive or conclusive. You will get assistance from us. And this recording is going to be available on the website. You'll also have access to our team members and customer service, and we'll also provide an email address and phone number if you have any issues. And most of you already know the internal DPI team that will be able to assist you. So we're going to go over the overview. At the end, you'll be able to ask questions. We want to just go through the process first so that we have enough time to show you what's new and how to navigate the system. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce you to Varun, who's going to walk you through the process. So Varun, take it away.
Thanks, Yvette. Like you said, I'm Varun. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to sort of go through the process, how it's going to look from your perspective in Momentum in terms of submitting utility permit applications. And also I'm going to talk about how the maintenance permits are going to work in Momentum as well. So let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'm on the Momentum homepage now. Some of you have already created an account. Some of you may have never used Momentum before. So obviously, if you have an account, you can go ahead and log in up here. If you have not created an account yet, you'll need to create a profile down here, and it will walk you through creating a profile in Momentum. This is a completely separate account from the one you're used to in ePermits. It'll be a new account that you'll need to have in Momentum to be able to submit utility applications starting June 30th. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Again, if I didn't have an account, I could go to create a profile down here. So when I log in, it's going to take me immediately to my dashboard. So my dashboard is going to be basically my central location for all of my Momentum applications, Momentum permits, bonds, any activity that I'm doing in Momentum. My dashboard is where I'm going to be able to find that and check the status and complete my tasks. So this is where we are when you first log in on this My Dashboard tab. You see you have some information about the account that you created up here. So this is the username I used. This is the address that I used when creating the account and the contact information. Okay. Like I said, on your dashboard, you're going to have a bunch of applications. As you can see, I only have one. As you start using Momentum, you're going to obviously pile up applications on your dashboard. So I'm going to go into some of the fields that you see on here in a second. You also do have the option to filter here. Like I said, once you start getting a bunch, piling up permits on your dashboard, the search function is going to help you be able to find the specific application number that you're looking for. And then you can also search by address down here on the filters. And you can also filter by if you're looking for a specific type of application. So like I said, this is one active application, an active permit that I have on my dashboard. For those of you who apply for utility permits on behalf of public utility companies and currently have an active maintenance permit with Prince George's County, that maintenance permit will be migrated and put into Momentum for you, so you don't have to apply and go through the whole process of getting that approved again. If you already have an active maintenance permit, you will be issued that same maintenance permit in Momentum. Okay, so this is how a maintenance permit looks in Momentum from your perspective. As you can see, on any record you have on your dashboard, you have the application type. Here, this is going to be maintenance permit. Some quick details about what the current status is. So this is kind of tells you what should be currently happening on this record. This is the permit number that I have for this maintenance permit. So again, each of you are going to be issued a maintenance permit for all of you that have a current active maintenance permit. In this case, my permit number is MU, that stands for maintenance utility, and then dash, you're going to get a 5-digit sequence, in this case 6, and then the current year. Okay, we have a subtype for special utility maintenance in this box for details, and then in the status box you're going to see what's the current status of my application and some key dates for this permit. Okay, so you see I have one pending task here. The status of this permit is active, meaning I can use it for my special utility permits. Current milestone is report maintenance activity, and then you have some key dates, like I said. So this one was issued on the 23rd and will expire on at the end of this year. You also have a fee section here on any record on your dashboard that's going to show you any unpaid fees that you have, and you can click a quick button here to pay any outstanding fees on this permit record. Okay, so I'm going to open this, and as you can see, I currently have a pending task, and that's going to be to report maintenance activity. So you're expected to report anticipated maintenance activity and report when that is completed in the system. The system will send monthly reminders throughout the year to remind you to report your maintenance activity through Momentum. So all reporting of maintenance activity is going to go through Momentum through this permit record from your dashboard. Okay. So to report maintenance activity, I can go ahead and click on this one pending task, and that's going to open the details for this maintenance permit. So as you can see in red here, I have a pending task. It says click here to report maintenance activity. At the top of the page, you see I have my maintenance permit number. I can see some quick information about fees. So this is what I've paid so far. This is the unpaid balance. Again, milestone status. Okay. You scroll down, this is all information that is specific to this maintenance permit in terms of the contact information that we entered, any attachments here. And then this section is where you're going to actually report maintenance activity. So again, this is going to need to happen throughout the year for any maintenance activity that's happening under this maintenance permit. So we have some instructions here on how to use this maintenance activity report. We have a grid down here for anticipated maintenance activity. So the first step is going to be coming to this grid, clicking add row, and this is how I'm going to input activity that we anticipate is going to be happening in the future. Okay, so I'm going to put a date in the future for this activity. I'm not going to put the completed date since obviously we haven't completed yet. I'm just saying that this is work that we are going to do. Okay, I'm going to say where the work is taking place. And I'm going to describe the work that I'm doing. So you want to give a description and a description of the location of where exactly the work is taking place. What are the number of pavement cuts that will be done, and what are the linear feet of aerial installation that will be happening? So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to save. So this is me entering anticipated activity that I'm going to complete in the future. Okay. So I've saved that, and now that's going to be in the grid. And it's going to sit there until we actually complete the maintenance activity or we cancel the maintenance activity. So once the maintenance activity is actually completed, so we come back on July 1st, let's say we have completed this activity. So I'm going to come back to Momentum, open this, edit this, and then I can edit this row that I previously entered for anticipated activity. And now I'm going to enter the completed date to confirm that we did do this activity. So again, before I was just reporting that I'm going to do it. Now I'm saying I have done it. If for whatever reason it didn't happen, it was anticipated but did not take place, I can also, instead of putting the completed date, I can use the activity cancel box to cancel that activity. But I'm going to say I completed this activity. I'm going to sign my name, and I'm going to save this. And so once I submit completed activity, what you're going to see is the system is going to immediately load fees based on that completed maintenance activity here. And so this is how you're going to self-report maintenance activity, and the system is going to charge you per the DPI fee schedule for maintenance activity that you have completed throughout the year. As you can see, when I completed that, it got removed from this grid. So now I have no anticipated maintenance activity. And I'm going to keep doing this throughout the year to make sure that my maintenance activity is being reported. Okay. So that is how you maintain an active maintenance permit and reporting activity, which will need to be done throughout the year as long as your maintenance permit is active. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard, and now I'm going to go to submitting a special utility permit application. Okay, so you always have this apply here tab at the top of the page, and this is where we're going to go to start a new application for a permit. You see on the right here, we have all of these application types. So for special utility, we're going to go under site road permits and approvals, and it's going to be under site road application. So your case type here is going to be special utility. Permit type is also going to be special utility. Okay. We do need to add an address here, and the address needs to be an address that is existing in the system. It's not a free form box. It needs to select an address that is existing in the system. I know the work generally is not going to be at a specific address. You need to select the address that's close, the most close as you can to where the work is actually taking place for this permit. Okay. So I'm going to put a number, put a street name and search, and I'm going to select an address that I get here. Again, I have to select the address and add it here. When I save and continue, now I'm going to be on the permit application page. This is where I'm going to fill out the information for this specific permit. The first section is going to ask me for my maintenance permit number. If you're applying on behalf of a public utility company, you do have to have a maintenance permit number that is currently active to be able to submit a special utility application. So I'm going to say yes. And then I am going to be required to enter my maintenance permit number. Remember, this is on my dashboard earlier. This is the maintenance permit number that this special utility permit is going to be associated with, and it does have to be currently active for me to use it. Okay. E-plan contact. This is going to be who's going to be responsible for uploading the plans into project docs. This is not necessarily the applicant, so that's why you have a separate field here for it. This should be the person who's going to log into project docs and upload all the plans and manage the whole project docs plan review process. All right, here's contact information for the permittee. So I'm going to enter that information. All this is required. You have company or last name, and then first name not required, obviously, if it's a company. To enter all of that. You have peer reviewer information if you are using the peer review program. Most relevant to special utility applications will be this utility reviewer information at the bottom. So you can enter information here if you are using a peer reviewer for your permit application. You have a detailed work description. This is where you're going to be entering a project name and a description of the proposed work. So you really want to give an overview of all the work that you're doing on this permit. This is going to be reviewed by reviewers and approved as what is actually going on the permit and what the permit is approved for the work. Okay, so this is proposed work. Okay. Generally, you will not be disturbing any areas, so you can go ahead and just check this box. If you check this, you don't need to enter anything in here. Then some more information about the work that you're doing. Will the work be on a county maintained road? This answer has to be yes for you to be able to submit, especially utility applications have to be on a county maintained road. So here's where you're going to enter some information about specifically where the work is taking place. On the previous page, we entered the address that was closest to where the work is. This is where we're going to really describe where we're doing the work. So the intersection of two streets, whatever the best way is for you to describe exactly where the work is taking place. Your utility company project number and your utility company project name should go here. And then if you are doing paving, we're going to enter the start and end date of when that paving is going to take place. And then if sidewalk closure will be required. Okay. So here's where we're going to enter specific details about the work that's going to be taking place on this special utility permit. So the first grid here is going to be information about all of the installation or removal that you're going to be doing as part of this permit. So if I click on this add row button, that's how I'm going to add, insert, the projects that I'm doing as part of this permit. So I'm going to click add row, and I'm going to get this pop-up, and I need to fill out all of the, required fields that are marked with a red star here. So you have a list of types of installation or removal that you can do. And then you do have other option as well if it's not one of these, and make sure to describe in detail what it is in the work description. So I'm going to add one here. And I'm going to describe the work that I'm doing. I'm going to say I'm doing it from one location to another. Obviously, be very detailed in terms of where the work is taking place. And then I'm going to, for this specific installation or removal, I'm going to enter the linear feet of installation. I'm going to do under the roadway, outside the roadway, and then aerial installation. Again, what I'm entering here is specific to this installation or removal. And we're going to enter a new row for each type of installation or removal that we're doing per location. Okay, so I'm going to add another row. And now I'm going to do this. And I'm going to enter information for this specific type of installation. Okay. So leave these blank if it's not applicable, but you know, this is what it is. And then if it is a moratorium road, you need to check that here so that you're aware that this work is taking place on a moratorium road. So you can see the information is entered and it's specific to that installation type. Then you have an engineer cost estimate. This is where you're going to be entering any other additional information about work that you're doing. In this case, let's say we have handhold in concrete. I'm going to add that here, and then you can keep adding rows for all of these options. These are related to the bond that may or may not be issued for this permit. Okay. After that, we just have an attestation with some language about what this permit is for and the stipulations of this permit. And I'm going to sign this and then save and continue. So I filled out my application. Now I'm going to come to a review page. This is just the last chance for me to go through everything that I have filled out on this application. If I need to make any changes, I can go back here. If I'm good, I can go ahead and submit the application. So I'm going to do that. Once I submit the application, I'm going to get this page saying application confirmation. I'm going to be issued an application number. The application number is always going to start with SU for special utility and then a 5-digit sequence. That's going to just go in sequence in terms of this is the 5th SU application for this year and then the current year as well. If I click on this link, then I'm going to be able to open the details of this application. So when I submit, it's going to go to application pre-screening. This is a DeepI task to screen this application now. And I can see everything that I submitted here on this application. Okay. Again, on your dashboard, like I said, you can see the status and everything, all the status and what's going on with my application. So the application that I just submitted is that application pre-screening, and I can see it's under pre-screening. So nothing for me to do now. I'm waiting for the reviewer to complete pre-screening. Okay. The reviewer may send it back to me for corrections at this point, and I will receive an email letting me know what I need to fix on my application. So once they do that, I'm going to get an email. And when I get the email, it's going to have the comments with what needs to be fixed on the application. If I refresh this, I'm going to see that this application is now at the milestone return for information. I have a pending task, and I need to click on the hyperlink to see additional info that was requested. We have some instructions here. So if I scroll down to the bottom of this page here is where I'm going to be able to see what the reviewer needs me to fix. This will also be in the email that I received. So I have the opportunity now to edit my application to make the changes that the reviewer asked for. And then once I've made those changes, I'm going to come down to this section and confirm that I made the changes and I'm ready to basically resubmit my application for screening. I can also enter comments here if there's anything that I want to communicate to my reviewer. Once I save this, that's going to resubmit my application for screening. So now we go back to my dashboard and refresh. Now we're going to be at screening. And now the reviewer hopefully is going to approve pre-screening. Once the reviewer approves pre-screening, we are going to now start the process in Project Docs. So 1 second here. As you can see, it went back to application pre-screening. So I'm waiting for the reviewer to complete pre-screening, and I'm going to get a notification now letting me know that my application has been accepted. And I'm going to get, as you guys are used to, getting the project invitation from Project Docs to upload my plans into Project Docs. So if I refresh this, now you're going to see the milestone is going to be upload plans to ePlan, and I have a pending task, and it's going to tell me to log into ePlan to upload your plans. So I'm getting an email from Project Docs with that invitation link, and I can go to Project Docs and upload my plans there now. I will also at this point be getting an email from Momentum, and it's going to ask me to upload my TPIP related documents, as we would like to, get those reviewed in parallel with plan reviews. Okay. So to upload my TPIP related documents, those are going to be in Momentum. TPIP documents are always in Momentum, not in Project Docs. Okay. So I can upload at any time whenever I'm ready. I can go down to this attachments section, and this is where I'm going to be able to upload my TPIP documents. So if I click add here, and I'm going to add a file, and then I'm going to select the TPIP document type. So again, this should be done at the same time that you're uploading plans into Project Docs. You also want to upload your TPIP related documents into Momentum at this point so that they can be reviewed in parallel with your plans. So I've uploaded that to Momentum, and I'm also going to go to Project Docs and complete my upload task here. So the Project Docs workflow, works the same that, for those of you who are used to using Project Docs for special utility applications. It's going to be generally, exactly the same like you're used to in terms of uploading and tracking your plan reviews. So I'm going to upload my documents into the folders that I'm used to here in terms of plans. Other documents, again, TPIP documents go into Momentum, like I said before. So I'm going to complete that task. And now I'm going to go to the plan screening task, which the reviewer is going to complete in Project Docs. So it's going to be at application review now. This is not a task for me. This is a task for the reviewer. If it is a task for me, like I said, you're going to see a one pending task on your dashboard in red. So that's how you know if it's like with you or if it's with a reviewer. Okay. So after plan screening is when the initial filing fees are going to be assessed. So if I refresh this, now the plan screening has been completed. I'm going to get an email, as an applicant letting me know that I now have fees due on my application. So I can immediately see here, now I have a pending task, pay now. I can go ahead and click right here to pay the balance. I can see I have $426.80 due. If I open the application, I can see a breakdown of the fees that I have due, itemized. If I ever need to, understand what fees are due. So I'll see here, we have some instructions, and then here's the application fee, here's the administrative fee, and the technology fee that I have due for the filing fees for this application. So I need to pay these before plan reviews can start. Okay, so I can go ahead and click pay balance here, and that's going to take me to the payment portal so that I can complete that payment. If I ever need to, for whatever reason, I can always click this My Documents button up here, and then I can generate an invoice from this My Documents button whenever I have fees due. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get those fees paid. Like I said, in a real situation, you go ahead and click pay balance, and then that's going to take you to the payment portal to complete the payment. All right, now that I have completed the payment, my task is gone, fees are paid. And now we're going through the plan review process in Project Docs. As part of the plan review process, if a bond is required, this is when the bond process will generally be started by the reviewers. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start that and show you what that looks like from your perspective. So the reviewer is going to decide if a bond is required for this permit application, and they're going to create a bond record for you. I'm going to go back to my dashboard here. Okay, so now when the reviewer decides a bond is required, they're going to create that bond record for me. I'm going to get an email letting me know that I have a bond task to complete. When I log into my dashboard, I'm now going to have a bond record on my dashboard. So this is going to be a separate record from my permit application with its own bond number, and I'm going to have a pending task here. So I'm also going to get notified that there's a bond form available for me to download from my permit application. So I can go into my permit application, go down to the attachments, and I can download the bond form from here. So this is going to give me a PDF of the actual bond form that was generated by my reviewer, and I can print this out and sign it. So I need to submit this for review. So now I'm going to go back to my dashboard and I'm going to complete my pending task on the bond records. Again, this is happening in parallel with the plan reviews in Project Docs. Okay, so again, I have a pending task on my bond. I'm going to open that. And so on the bond, I need to upload my bond document. So I'm going to do that with signatures here after I've obtained it from the permit application. And then I also need to fill out this application form here. So you see the performance bond is filled in, the bond amount is filled in. I need to fill in the bond number and some other related bond information for this to be reviewed. So it's going to be a surety bond, and I'm going to save. And that's going to submit my bond for review. Again, this is on the bond record separate from the permit application. So now my bond is under review, and my plans are under review in Project Docs. So again, these are happening simultaneously, and we're going to wait for those to be completed. Okay, so the bond has been approved. If I refresh this, the first draft of my bond has been approved. So now I'm going to be required to actually submit the final bond. And that's going to be not in Momentum. That's still going to be mailed through, the way you guys are used to in terms of mailing in the final bond to the office for approval. Okay. Once the bond is received, the final bond is received, the reviewer is going to complete the final bond task in Momentum, and they're going to confirm that it was received, and then we're going to have a bond that is approved. Now my bond is approved, so now that's just sitting, and we're going to go back to the permit application and finish that out as well. So again, reviews have been happening in parallel while the bond was getting approved. So now the bond is approved, and I have an issue date. All right, so now bond has been approved. All reviews have been approved. My plans have been approved. So if I refresh, I'm now going to get permit fees for me to pay. So initially I had paid the filing fees, and then once the reviews are complete, I'm going to pay the final permit fees. Again, I'm going to have a task here with one pending task. I can see my unpaid balance, and I can go ahead and pay those fees. So I would go ahead and click here. That would take me to the payment portal, and then that's how I'm going to complete the payment. So once I pay, now we're going to be waiting for the payment to be confirmed, final approval, and issuance. So you're going to be getting emails throughout the process. Of course, it's not that you have to sit here and watch, as the status is moved forward. When you have fees due, anytime you have a task, you're going to get an email to go into Momentum and complete that task, including when the permit is issued. You're going to get an email letting you know that the permit has been issued. So now we're just waiting for, final approval and issuance to happen. So just give it a second. Okay, so now the permit has been issued. I just received an email letting me know that the permit has been issued. So I'm going to get one email from Momentum to say the permit has been issued. I can go download it from Momentum. And then I'm also going to get an email from Project Docs letting me know I can download my approved plans from Project Docs. So here's the permit that was issued. As you can see, after the permit is issued, we're going to go to the pre-construction meeting because that's the next step after a permit is issued. But I can go and open that record. And if I scroll down to the attachments tab, this is where I'm going to be able to download my permit. So these are the documents that I had uploaded before. All the documents are going to live here. And this is the document that was issued when I actually, my permit was issued. So I can download it from here. And then again, I can go to Project Docs. And at this point, I'm going to be able to download my permits from the approved permit set folder here as well. Okay. The next step for all applicants is going to be the pre-construction meeting that needs to happen before, we can start doing the work before any of the ensuing inspections can be done. So this needs to be coordinated with the inspectors that you guys are used to working with in terms of getting pre-construction meetings done for special utility permits. When you're ready to, put in a date for the pre-construction meeting, you're going to come to this all section here and enter the date that you had agreed with your inspector that you're going to complete the pre-construction meeting on. Okay, make sure to put some contact info so the inspector knows who to reach out to. in case they need some additional information. And we're going to submit the request. And so now, obviously, we're waiting until that date, and you're going to conduct that pre-construction meeting with all the required stakeholders, including the DeFi inspector who needs to get that completed. So once that is actually done, the inspector is going to approve that the pre-construction was completed. And at that point is when, you're permitted to actually start doing the work. And you're going to see the milestone is what we call in construction now. So now the permit has been issued, pre-construction meeting is done, and work can actually start for what was approved on this permit. And you can start doing inspections with the third-party inspectors. Okay. So on the dashboard, I'm just going to show what this looks like when a permit is issued. So you'll see here, this is in construction, meaning the status is issued. We have an issue date here, and then an expiration date is also going to get set generally for 6 months from when the permit was issued. As you can see, the instructions now, you're going to complete your third-party inspections, and then our instructions now are going to be to, once we've completed all those inspections, we need to upload the third-party certifications to Momentum to confirm that the permit is ready to be closed. So I've done all my work, I've done all my inspections, and I've got all my third-party certifications to confirm that all my the work was done. Okay. So I'm going to come back into Momentum once all of that is ready, and I'm going to go to the attachments section, and here's where I'm going to add my third-party certification. And once I upload this, that's going to prompt DeFi inspectors to take a look at those third-party inspection certifications that you just uploaded. And they're going to be confirming if the permit is ready to be closed out or not. Okay. Once they have confirmed that it's ready to be closed, now the final step is for the bond to be released and the permit to be closed. So once they've confirmed that, you're going to see the milestone for both your bond and your permit is going to be waiting for the bond to be released. Once the bond is released, so when the bond is released, the permit is closed. When I refresh this, you're going to see they actually are gone from my dashboard. So by default, your dashboard filters out closed records. If I want to see those, I can go to the filter and toggle back closed applications to on and search. And then I can see those, the permit and bond, which are now, closed and completed, and the bond is released. So that's the basic process from start to finish, how it's going to look from your perspective in terms of going through. First, we showed reporting maintenance activity on your maintenance permit, and then submitting a special utility application, getting that permit issued, and then eventually getting the permit closed out by inspections. And then we also showed the bond process and the TPIP process, which is going to happen in parallel with your permit application process. So that's sort of the end of the process that I'm showing today.
Yes. And if you have any questions, you can raise your hand in the chat and we can unmute you. There were some questions in the chat that team members have been answering. And as I stated, I will have the recording sent to the registrants for this meeting. And it will also be in our training library as well on the website. Any questions? You can raise your hand and we'll unmute you. James. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for this presentation. This was very helpful and enlightening. I appreciate it. So normally with permit closeouts and with the construction schedule, if that needs to change, how would we do that? Do we have to just go in and remodify for a construction schedule?
So one of the business team members.
Good.
And-
Absolutely. Everybody, this Renee Lodativa. What could you elaborate on construction schedule and what you mean by that needs to change? I'm
Well,
not
from the portal, it looks like once we pay the fees, we have to arrange a GC meeting for the construction visit, and that would be your construction. We would provide construction timelines, I guess, at that time. And then once the permit, we finish the work on this permit, we'd have to close it out. Typically, we have a construction manager send emails for closeouts. Is this going to be the new way that we're going to be doing this? So there's no more emails, it just goes right through the portal. And I have to have my construction manager arrange that with you guys, is what I'm trying to figure out.
yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me throw one little comment about that. Your applicant is now responsible for that process.
I understand. I completely,
Yeah.
yeah, like if
It's
I
a
feel
different-
like I'm responsible for the whole part of it from start to end, I understand. I would not, hand this off to someone. I would have to do it myself. I understand.
And just to also add, if we know this is new, if you are finding challenges, as always, feel free to reach out, pick up the phone, call us, myself, Michelle, Ryan, Brandon. We'll be glad to help you walk through this as well.
Thank you for that question, James. Any other questions? And thank you, Michelle and Renee. Wow. No more hands raised. All right, they just said thank you and they will need the recording, so we will definitely send that out. Great. Just going, give it another minute. No other questions. We will end this in the recording and, look to working with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.